Hello and welcome fans of unusual computer stuff. In previous video we took a peek at rather modern device. Link in the info card. Today we are going to the roots. So I'm happy to present you Psion Series 5. Despite looking like a trendy name, our device first appeared in 1997, 28 years ago. But we've gotten a little ahead of ourselves. Who's the heck this Psion of yours? It was originally an English company which produced plenty of portable computers and software products since 1980. Psion Organizer 1 and Psion Organizer 2, which were released in 1984 and 1986 respectively, were just a touchstone. These were pocket computers. Geez, what huge pockets people had in those days. We can ignore the first one because it isn't very interesting for us, but second one is worth mentioning. They were an operating system. 1986 Pocket PC. And you could attach external devices like voice synthesizer, barcode scanner and printer, which was extremely useful. Moreover, it was possible to use up to 2 EEPROM models, memory storage up to 256 kilobytes. Keyboard was rather weird and repulsive because keys were in an alphabetical order, and grouping of symbols wasn't a strong point of this device. Nearest older relatives of our guest today were representatives of the Series 3 line. Everything turned better in this generation. They became faster and stronger. More memory was installed. God bless normal LCD. Strong autonomy than operating on batteries up to 35 hours by 2 AA batteries. Instead of EEPROM in previous models, here you can install Psion solid-state disks with 1 MB capacity. It was controlled by 16-bit operating system, and finally we have reached the peak of evolution at that moment. Few words about exterior. Seal of 28 past years is clearly visible to my great regret. Days then the device first came out the production line, it was reported to have good shock-resistant characteristics. Supposedly they stand in a drop from 1 meter. In my case, unfortunately, I can't check this information. Maybe it was my copy that was tested those days. Upper layer of the surface, which looks like soft touch material, start to peel off in places now. The plastic is cracked too. Nevertheless, let's try to score its appearance. Despite the age, the device still looks impressive. Comparing to modern smartphones, for example Samsung S24 Ultra, it is exactly the same length and width. The only thing is that it's much thicker. Holding it in your hand evokes positive emotions. It makes your hand a little heavy, but believe me, in those times it was just awesome. Metal insert on the top with company's logo and model name kept the message up to present day. The message is that this device is serious and it's made for serious people. Let's take an attentive look at all things that we have here. On the top, except insert, which we already mentioned, we can find a sticker with an operation system's name, but we'll talk about OS a bit later. On the left side, we have a power port. In spite of this device being powered by AA batteries, it was possible to use power supply to avoid wasting batteries' power when there was an outlet nearby. Next to the power port, battery that keeps alive volatile memory while main battery is under replacement. You can use this cover to close the bay. It looks quite reliable. On the back side, we can find piezoelectric speaker, battery bay with radius cover, infrared port, and proprietary serial port hidden under similar cover to that of a battery bay. Adapter to normal 1 RS-232 port look like this. On the right side we can find microphone and stylus bay. Talking about stylus, I can say that it's rather comfortable in handling and using, and no compromises in its design were made. Next to it there is a compact flash slot under this cover. Again, it's look quite reliable. On the front side you can see LED recording indicator. By the way, you can use this device like voice recorder, and plenty of people use it in this way. We can find a block of 3 buttons under this cover: record, stop, playback. It seems to me that probably next previous track buttons are missing here, but everything is compactly arranged. The bottom edge has rubber feet only, and please note, they are all in place. So it's time to open the lid, but sit down first if you are standing. Ta-da! Yeah, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is a full-fledged, as far as possible, QWERTY keyboard. And according to many, one of the best on the market at that time. It was so magnificent that after about 1 million years, 21 years, Gemini PDA was released. It has just the same keyboard. There are 53 keys and God bless them all, normal arrows. If you look at the keys at a slight angle, you can see second function of these keys. Right in front of you, in the center, there is a display, the touch input with resolution with 1 in dots. It's important to know that the sensor is quite sensitive and can be easily operated with fingers if the interface elements allow these. It has monochrome display with 16 shades of gray. It also has a backlight, this greenish tint. It looks amazing! Look at it, it's just amazing! On the left, there is a sticker with information about amount of memory. Those days it was rather good memory capacity. On the right, model name. Around the screen you can see applications, shortcuts and special functions. Before the startup of the device, I need to say a few words about components. Inside there is a processor from ARM7 product family with ARMv3 architecture. Its name is CLPS7110. It was designed to be extremely energy efficient. In a standby mode, its current consumption is 5 mA. In a normal mode, 20 mA. In a hibernation mode, only 3 microamperes. 18 MHz is this processor's clock speed. The manufacturer firmly assured that the performance is comparable to the 33 MHz of the 486 Intel processor. We certainly believe it. The memory on this device, as I already said, is 8 MB, and this is RAM. There is also 6796 KB of constant volatile memory. The memory is arranged on the board like these. The photos are from this source. I was afraid to disassemble my sample. Now it's time to talk about an operating system, EPOC. Wikipedia insists that maybe, only maybe, this abbreviation stands for electronic piece of cheese, but it's not 100%. We won't touch upon the 16-bit version. Let's move straight to the 32-bit version. In my case, release 1 is installed. Unfortunately, there is no easy way to update the program code on my device, so we have what we have. This operating system has memory protection features and was written in C++. For positive user experience, most operations in OS are identical to IBM platform ones. Afterwards, right from these operation systems, Symbian will grow. When we start the device, we are getting to the desktop, but it's not actually the desktop. It will be more correct to call it a File Explorer window. The drives are named the same way as in Windows. System drive C, memory card D. Like in modern systems, you can find menu here. Let's go to the information section and see what we can find there. In the machine submenu, there is some information about what we have in front of us and what operating system it runs on. Talking about strange things, we can get physical dimensions of the screen and that the screen resolution is high for the touch input. The memory section contains information about RAM. The disk section shows how much free space is left. The battery section shows levels of all batteries, as well as consumption. The About Series 5 tab contains this information. You can also enter information about the owner here. If you are a business person but have a poor memory, this will help you. Control panel. How many wonders there are in these words. But let's cut the poetry. Here we can find date and time settings, including daylight saving time. Security settings, including setting up a password. I have already said, and I will repeat that, as a business person, and it is precisely for this type of people such devices were created. It's vitally important to protect the contents of your meeting calendar with passwords. Otherwise, someone might accidentally find out that you have free time slots and you wouldn't look such a busy business person. Turning on and off settings. You can connect it with opening the lid. Quite useful. Extra step settings. Display settings. Here you can adjust contrast. You can also tune it by keyboard and the backlight turn off time. In keyboard menu, settings input delay, sound, volume settings and turning on and off. Settings of the connected printer. You can choose through large PC or through compatible one from the list or general. You can also use this device like fax modem if you have a corresponding expansion card. Setting up values, dimension of display, time, currency, etc. Sorting settings, creating new directories and files. Clicking on the clock changes its format from analog to digital and vice versa. On the left we can find duplicating of the menu buttons, cut, copy and paste operations. Initiating data transmission and reception via IRDA. And also some interesting stuff, in this case zoom. You can zoom interface in applications and it works in a circle. So then you click on zoom in, you can zoom out at some point. It works in all applications except those in which it doesn't work. The purpose of the shortcuts is clear. Let's take a quick look at the software. The system, I mean Explorer, word processor with spell check, spreadsheet processor, card index or notebook, appointment task calendar, wall time, calculator including a scientific mode, which at that time was Warhol price, sketch, and other stuff including a dictionary for spell checking and OPL development environment, a communication subsystem, sound recording, and a Minesweeper type game. Let's pause at the audio recording and test how it works. As you can see from the interface, there is a switch between recordings. There are also volume settings. You can loop the sound, create an alarm sound for yourself, and move to a specific time. One interesting feature is that you can choose between two corresponding modes: standard 2 minutes per megabyte and ADPCM 4 minutes per megabyte. Let's listen to both options and compare them.
Test audio 1, 2, 3.
We'll also run bombs. To synchronize our device, we'll use the remote link utility on the Psion side and Psion version 2.3.3 on the Windows 98 side. Why this specific setup? Because I have a Windows 98 laptop with an infrared port and I don't have the original RS-232 cable. I choose this software version because I couldn't get other versions to work. It's important to know that we are talking about very outdated technology and some kind of voodoo magic. It took me the whole day to get the laptop to recognize the Psion. As a result, I can now install additional software on my PDA and transfer file in both ways. It wouldn't work at first try, of course, but it's possible. To connect, you need to place the device opposite each other, with the ports facing each other, but not too close. Make sure the Psion display isn't off and go to the main menu. Start the connection on the PC. If everything is done correctly, an icon like this will appear in the system tray and you'll have access to the device file system and other functions in my Psion folder on the desktop. I managed to install a game called Castle 3, for example. It's a turn-based RPG where you can choose a hero from 3 classes. Pretty standard for those days. Wander around the map, kill enemies, look for keys, drink with drug. Drink recovery potions and so on. A few words about the file transfer process. The point is that you can't transfer regular BMP file, for example. You have to convert it to the required format first, and only then move it into the Psion's file system. Regarding launching 3D here, it's rather complicated. Device can launch it, but it looks like Cyberpunk on the PS4 at release. If you have any suggestion about running stuff on this device, please write about it in the comments. The price at startup was around £500 for the 8MB model. For comparison, the Apple iMate 300 with 1MB of RAM and 3MB of storage cost $799, which at the exchange rate was exactly £500. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of this ultra portable computer. I absolutely love it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.